Hello and welcome to the session. Today I will do active and passive voice part 2. That is, I will discuss the sentences with past tense, which are in the past tense. In my just previous video, I have discussed active and passive voice, in which the sentences were in present tense. So I will give you the link of that video. Please see so that your concept is very clear and you don't get difficulty in answering the questions in the competitive exams which you will be appearing. So these sentences are of the previous year questions and the solutions also I have discussed. So here we go. So today in this session I have given 10 sentences and I have discussed in details. Now here active and passive voice, when you are, what do you understand? Active voice means where the subject is doing some action. Subject is the doer of the action. Alright, this you must always keep clear. And in passive voice, what happens? Passive voice, the subject is the receiver. Some action takes place on the subject. Then it becomes passive voice. Active voice, with the word you can understand the subject is in some action. It is doing the action. So here this sentence you can first understand that which voice is this? Active voice or passive voice. Now this is the subject of the sentence. Okay. So he is what? He is doing some work. He is the doer of the action. That is, he is what he is doing. He is cheering his team enthusiastically. So he is the doer of the action. So this is what the sentence is in active voice. So what we have to make? We have to make a passive voice which will be in which the subject will be receiving the action. So you see what happens. Now this is very clear that this sentence is simple past tense. Alright? It is in simple past tense. So in simple past tense, what is the active voice? In the active voice, you will get the verb V2. That is the past tense, simple past tense. So this cheered is what? V2 verb, second form of the verb. So here, he cheered, that is the subject is doing the action. He cheered his team enthusiastically. So in the passive form, what will happen? Passive form, it will give simple, it becomes very simple in simple past tense. In the passive voice, it becomes the was or were you will add. Okay. Then you will add a V3. Passive voice always has a V3, third form of the verb. Plus you will use by and then plus the subject. Okay. So here was or were you will use, plus V3 you will use, plus by you will use, and the subject you will use. So here is the subject, no? He is the subject. So number one option, he was being cheered enthusiastically by his team. Is it correct? Or he was cheered enthusiastic. So what is the rule? The rule is passive voice, was or were plus V3. So definitely the D is the answer. So which is the answer? See, here was is there and the V3 is there, plus enthusiastically is that verb used, plus by is there and him is the subject. This becomes here the subject. The team was cheered enthusiastically by him. I hope learners you have understood the rule. Please mention, and if you like the session, please like it and share among your friends. And subscribe also, pressing the bell icon for the next video. Now the second one, you see, all sentences I have taken in past tense. Sohan was writing a letter to his father. Sohan was writing a letter to his father. So now here, this is again, this sentence is in past tense. So where is it? It is in, the sentence is in was writing. This is in past tense. But what form is it? This is past continuous tense. He was writing a letter to his father. Sohan was writing a letter to his father. Now you have to transform it into a passive voice. A letter was written to his father by Sohan. A letter has been written to his father. A letter was being written by Sohan to his father. Or a letter was written by Sohan to his father. Now in the past, I'll tell you the rule. In the past continuous tense, what you get? You are getting in the active voice, you get the was were will be there, okay, plus the verb one, first form of the verb one, plus ing. Now this is the right is the first form of the word, writ, e. So e goes away, ing. When we add ing, e is not there. So Sohan was writing, all right, plus a letter. Now plus what is it? Object. All right. Now simple, in the passive voice, what you have to change into passive voice. In the passive voice, it is very simple. You will have object, all right, plus was, were, all right. Now the change here is that there will be, in the past continuous tense, there will be a being added in the passive voice plus third form of the verb V3 plus by plus subject. So you find out which sentence is there. You have to get an object. All right. You have to get an object, was, were, being, V3. So here is the third sentence. That is was is there. You can see this is the object. Letter is the object. Was is there. Being is there. Plus V3. The third form of right is there. V3. By Sohan. By subject to his father. So this is the second one. Now we go to the third sentence. The clown was being laughed at by them. The clown was being laughed at by them. Now this is the was being. Now you see here, the subject is the receiver of the action. The subject is being. The clown was being. The clown is not doing any action. So this is in passive voice. So just now we did know that in the passive voice of past continuous tense, there is was, were, plus being, plus V3 is also there, plus by is there, plus them is there. Now here you see, here the answer will be, they were laughing at the clown. They were laughing on the clown. They laughed at the clown. The clown was laughed. Now you have to make it into active voice. So you see here in the past continuous tense, what was the rule? I said that in the past continuous tense, the subject will be there, plus there will be the was or were, okay, plus V1 verb form 1 plus ing plus object. So here you see which sentence is having. Now the clown was being laughed at by them. So here they is there. All right. They is the them becomes they here. Them is the they here in the passive voice. They were was a verb. Laugh first form V1 plus ing is there at the clown. Now this is the correct answer. All right. Now let me tell you that some verbs laughed. All right. Then you have surprised. Now remember, learners, you must remember these words. Then decorate. Then you have now here these verbs, there are many such verbs. With these verbs, there will be always this preposition. At, decorate with. So when these verbs are used, then it is necessary. They were laughing at the clown. Here also you see, laughed at by them. Now they were laughing at the clown. This is very necessary. Alright. So you have to put here, they were laughing at the clown. Okay. Next. Number 4 sentence. Here we do the number 4 sentence. She bought a new car. Very simple. This is in active voice. She bought a new car. She is the subject. Bought is in the past tense. That is simple past tense. Alright, this is simple past tense. No, so I have given you the rule that in simple past tense, there will be always V2 in the active voice. So in the passive voice, of course, you will have, in the passive voice, you will always, it will change into V3. So here, in the passive voice, it will be active voice, it will be V2. And in the passive voice, what will be the rule? I gave you in the beginning only that in the passive voice, it is very simple. Was, were will be there. Was or verb will be there. Then there will be the V3. Then there will be by. Then there will be the subject. Okay. So here you find out which option is correct. There has to be was, were. So a new car was being bought by her. So a new car had been bought by her. A new car had been bought for her by him? No. This is totally wrong. Now the correct option will be here. Correct option will be D. A new car was bought. I told you, no, was plus V3 for her. A new car was bought for her. So here by is not necessary because bought, after bought, here it should be a for her. A new car was bought for her. One minute students. A new car was bought. Sorry, it should be by her. I'm very sorry. A new car was bought by her. This is the correct option. But this cannot be. A new car was being bought by her. Then the sentence should have been in past continuous tense. This is simple past tense. So Therefore, the D will be correct. That is, there will be only was, were, plus V3 will be there, and then there'll be by her. A new car was bought by her. Next. Number 5. My mother promised me a present. Again, this is very simple. This is simple past tense. This is in simple past tense. So again, you take that it will be always the V2 in active voice. This is in active voice. This is in active voice. So the verb to form is there. My mother promised me a present. So in the passive voice, what it will be it? In the passive voice, this simple past tense becomes very clear that it becomes, in the simple past tense, it is was, were, plus was, were, I explained in the previous sentence also, plus V3, plus by, plus subject. So here you see which option will be correct here. That is, I was promised a present. Now you take the B answer. The B answer is correct. I was promised, alright, was is there, promised V3, a present by my mother. So this is by is there and by my mother. I was promised a present by my mother. My mother promised me a present. I was promised a present, the object, by whom? By your mother. By the mother. Next sentence. Number 6. The residents celebrated the Independence Day. All these are very simple. This is simple past tense. So where are we? We are here. This is simple past tense. Active voice. So the Independence Day is celebrated by the residents. Now you see which sentence is correct. I explained this type of sentence in the previous questions. Number 6. Again the B is the correct option. So where are we? Again the B is there. Was is there. V3 is there. By is there. And the subject is there. The residents celebrated the Independence Day, or the Independence Day was celebrated by the residents. Next one. Number 7. The news had surprised us. Now this is also in the past tense, but it is in the, of course, in past tense form, it is in the past perfect tense. This is in past perfect tense. So the news had surprised us. So here, what do we have to, this is an active voice. The news, this is the subject. The news is the subject. So the news had surprised us. So it is in past perfect tense, and in the this is in the active voice. The news is the subject, had surprised us. So now in the passive voice, in the past perfect tense, it becomes, there is a rule here that in the passive voice, first the object will come. Okay, the object will come plus had been. Now you remember, in the perfect tense, past perfect tense, there will be had been plus V3 will be always there. Had been will be also there, and V3 will be there. Plus by, of course, will be there, and plus subject. Very clear? And in the active voice, what happens? In the active voice, it's very simple in the past perfect tense. Had will be there, plus V3 will be there, plus object will be there. The subject here, the subject plus had plus V3 plus object. In the passive form, it becomes object, had been plus V3 plus by plus subject. Next. I hope you all are finding it interesting. Number 8, a stone struck me on the head. Very, very, very clear. It is in simple past tense, active voice. Now you find out the passive voice. So this struck me. That is, this is active voice and this is simple past tense, where the verb is in the V2. And in the passive voice, what happens? The passive voice, the verb becomes, there will be a was. By now you should have learned. There will be a was of word plus V3 plus by plus subject. So here which one is correct? I was struck by a stone on the head. I was struck by a stone on the head. So where were you struck? This cannot be correct. You see the meaning is not clear. This cannot be, A cannot be correct. Here this D is correct. This cannot be correct. My head was struck. I had been struck. Had been is in the past perfect tense, but this is simple past tense. So I was, I told you, plus the V3 will be there, plus where? On the head, plus by will be there, plus the subject will be there in the passive voice. In the previous sentence, I told you. Number 9, the gardener was digging the soil. Now this is also simple. It is active voice. Now this is in the active, this is in the active voice. Was digging. The gardener was digging. And this is in what? Past continuous tense. This is in past continuous tense. Was digging the soil. So the passive voice, what is the rule of the past continuous tense? In the passive voice, what will be the rule? The passive voice will comes again, the object will come, plus I told you in one of the previous sentences, had been will be there. Okay, plus, sorry. That is in perfect, past perfect. I'm very sorry. One more, I'll give you this clearly. Now in the passive voice, it will be, object will be there, again the was or verb will be there, was or verb will be there. Then of course you remember here it comes being. Being will be there plus V3 will be there. So here being comes in past continuous, plus by will be there and plus subject will be there. So this is the passive voice in the past continuous tense. Object, was, verb, being plus V3 plus by plus subject. So the answer is A. The soil was being dug. Now you see the answer is very clearly, it is no. This is the object. The soil becomes, this is the object. Was is there. Being is there. This is in the past continuous tense. Then V3 is there. Then the by, then the subject. Very clear? Next. They had completed the assignment. They had completed. Now here again comes active voice, and this is in past perfect tense. All right. Sorry. This is in past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. Now this is active voice. So in the past perfect tense, what did we do? In the one of the previous sentences we did that in the active voice, the past perfect tense will be having subject, all right, that is they is the subject, okay, plus had plus V3 plus the object. Very simple, isn't it? The subject, they had completed the assignment. So in the passive voice, what will it be? Passive voice, it will be object again. Object comes in the beginning. Now here it will be had been. So I hope you remember the difference, what is happening in the past perfect tense and what is happening in the past continuous tense. Had been plus V3 will be there, plus by will be there, and plus the subject. Okay. Now here you see, find out which one is the correct answer. Which one is the answer? So here this will be, of course, number C. This will be the answer. The assignment had been V3 by, and this is the subject. So I hope you all have understood it very clearly, and I have thank you for being with me till now, and please press the bell icon and remain updated with the notifications. I will see you soon. Till then, bye bye.